كتاب الله أعذب منهل أنعم به من مورد لمن استقى قد صانه رب العباد بحفظه وحماه حتى لا يضيع ويخلقا.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Amma ba'd, all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Peace and salutations be upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Respected viewers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this special edition of us discussing selected chapters of the Holy Quran. Today, inshallah, we discuss one of the shortest chapters of the Quran with the most profound and the most encompassing message. Surah Al-Asr, chapter number 103 of the Holy Quran. It is one of the shortest surahs, but it has one of the greatest messages for mankind. In fact, some of the scholars have mentioned that if this had to be the only chapter of the Quran revealed, it would be sufficient for the guidance of mankind till the end of time. A very short surah, which perhaps sometimes we choose to read out of convenience because it's so short. But mashallah, remember, the Quran is so magnificent, it's so amazing. Irrespective of whether it's a long or short chapter, it carries great reward and it's absolutely amazing. So Surah Al-Asr, the chapter on time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath. Wal asri, by the oath of time, innal insana lafi khusr. Indeed, mankind is at a loss. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath by our greatest asset. What is your greatest asset? For every one of us living in this world, do you know your greatest asset is time? Time is precious. Time is valuable. Time cannot be brought back. Every second that is passing by, your life is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Your greatest capital is being diminished second by second as the clock ticks away. And that is why Allah is taking an oath by that time. Think about it. You know, it's like the example of a student in an examination hall. You're given 2 hours or 1 hour for your examination paper, and there's the clock in front of you, and that second hand is ticking away. Tick-tock, tick-tock, you know, that's also an app. So it's the seconds are moving, and the clock is ticking away. If the person writing the examination is not making use of that time, before you know it, that time will be over and that paper will be taken away. And if you have wasted that time, you're going to fail that examination. You're going to fail that paper. And for those that are studying hard, those that have their goal, those that have their aim and their objective, they know that each second that the clock is ticking, they're busy writing away. They're doing their best. They're making their effort because that time is going to come to an end and that paper is going to be taken away. And you want the best results that you worked hard for, that you aim to achieve. So Allah tells you, Al Asri, by the oath of time, Innal insana lafi khusr. Man is at a loss. And in the third verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you that if you have 4 qualities, then you will not be at a loss. Before we get to those 4 qualities, let's just understand this concept. Why is Allah talking about time? One of the great commentators of the Quran and the great scholars of the past, he looked at Surah Al-Asr and he said that I understood the meaning of Surah Al-Asr by the example of a person selling ice. So he said he walked into the marketplace and he saw a man selling ice. And this man was calling out that people come forward and please buy from me because my stock is going to be destroyed. If nobody buys now, it's over. What happens on a hot day? And especially when temperatures are high, that ice is melting. If the man manages to sell that ice before it melts away, he has incurred a profit and he is successful. If he does not manage to sell the stock that he has for that day, that ice becomes worthless. It melts away and it becomes useless. So your life is actually melting away in the heat of you living in this world. Are you making the best use of it? Are you making the most amount of profit from your life in this world? Because it's melting away like that ice melts away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us this very important reminder of time. And by the oath of time, man is at a loss except few people except those that have 4 important qualities that inshallah we're going to discuss on the next edition of this wonderful series where we discuss in selected chapters of the Holy Quran. But for now, let's leave it at that, and inshallah we look forward to the next edition of the program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وحماه حتى لا يضيع ويخلق